Suddenly, the item shuts off and Zed asks if he's finally going to stop with this nonsense. Apparently, Clark gives up on threatening him and just lowers his head, saying that he can resist all he wants. Now that the decree has come down from the Majesty, he'll be executed tomorrow morning. He should enjoy his last night in this world. Sometime later, in his room, he's making some notes. Even though he couldn't learn much, he's writing it all down. The problem is that he's dozing off exhausted. His mana was used to the limit to activate that artifact. He wants to finish the report, but the pen slips from his hand. A while later, Ryu wakes up in the room, and Zed wants to know if he's finally getting up. He tells him to stop complaining, even if he feels nauseous or like throwing up. But our boy compliments him, saying he really does have fast hands. I wasn't going to say anything, but I felt that moment when he leaned forward to fall. It was suspicious. I thought he's sitting down and falls forward. Got up just to fall again. Weird, right? But now there's the reason, man. Our boy praises him, saying he did a good job. For anyone else, it would have been insane, but he was really quiet and sneaky. Ryu though says it only worked because Zed distracted Clark, and he wants to know if he's really okay after all that. Our boy says he is, and then Ryu says there's definitely something shady about him. At that moment, Zed decides to ignore that and check his status. Mana is still at 0, but now everything else went down to -40, meaning he's a bit stronger. That stack made a difference. His body is becoming more and more comfortable to inhabit, and you can't even imagine how good it'll feel with 100% stats. Then he tells his friend they're going to have to escape tonight. So, if he's recovered, it's time. Ryu says this is madness. Clark is going to notice him showing up any second now. But our guy, obviously aware, says not to worry. He's probably sleeping. Ryu is curious, but the reason is obvious, right folks? That bracelet Clark used pulls an absurd amount of mana from the body, but it causes exhaustion right after. And since Zed saw the item shut off earlier, he knows the guy is asleep. All thanks to the fact that he was taken to that room. And this guy walks around with the keys. The plan was easy. The time to leave had come, and the two of them get up. Ryu is hesitant, but our boy says the hard part is already over. He kicks the bars and they fall right down. Bro, it's not like a few bits of metal were going to stop him. Obviously on the outside, the first guards already react wanting to know what he thinks he's doing. To which Zed replies, "Isn't it obvious, bro? I'm escaping this place." Didn't even see what hit them, and the two are already outside running through the yard. But turns out those damn organized guards are already lined up at the gate. Oh, poor guys who showed up to stop him, man. Just look at the guy in the middle. Bro, you've got zero chance. The guard shot at Zed to stop, but Zed just rushes forward, scaring Ryu. The first guy in the way looks like he's got 6 kids Zed's age. He runs past, dodging easily, then plants a hand right in the guy's face, slamming one guard into another, like playing bowling with dudes. Poor guards are already all laid out, bent and twisted. Before the second one could react, bam, a hit straight to the jugular. A clean tap that knocked the air right out of him. Z keeps moving in from the right. And now the rest were basically getting eaten alive. He kicks the first guy he threw while the ones behind are more focused on defending than attacking. Some fool tries a sword swing, but Zed ducks under it and lands a heel kick straight in the guy's ribs. The guy practically fell on his feet. Zed even blocked the next sword swing with a hand on the ground. Another kick. Man, this dude is the king of taekwondo. Another fool went face first into the dirt, and 2 more poor souls came from behind. And look at the psycho's face. Enjoying himself like always. I don't even know what he did, but he landed a kick on one guy that knocked him into the other. Meanwhile, Ryu can't even believe what he's seeing. Sometime later, just look at Clark's face now, totally dumbfounded, realizes he fell asleep at the worst possible time. His guys are all wrecked on the ground, begging for forgiveness. Unfortunately, number 218 had escaped. Obviously, he gives the order immediately to start the hunt, but the scene shifts now to a hotel in a village near the detention center. Ryu is looking around, checking if anyone's coming. Obviously, he and our boy stand out a lot in those orange uniforms. At least Ryu knows the whole area, so he starts showing Zed around and explaining how things work. First thing they needed to do was blend in better with the locals. So they hit up a beggar's stash to steal his clothes, bro saying that was the best way to hide. Ryu says he'll go grab some food. And our boy asks how since they don't have any money. But the little thief is a femme, right bro? He's going to steal it easy. And he even tells Zed to just wait there like a side character. He'll be right back. 1 or 2 hours later, our boy has a different colored eye. That's because the thief even brought him a contact lens. They're in the southern region where people adore the old hero, and that's why blue eyes are kind of a trendy item. Our boy guesses it might be because of the clan that the main character Torres Barrow belonged to. That was the Sordex family, and their enemies obviously were the Arrow Hands, just like they hated each other and were opposites. Even the eye color was different, and obviously for that reason, he couldn't go around flashing those glowing red eyes. Sometime later, they're in a cabin in the forest. It's kind of like the beginning after the end where the protagonist gets lost in the forest with the elf girl. Except here, in this case, it's with the femme instead. And only now is reality starting to hit Zed. He's wondering how the hell he ended up inside a game. And what kind of situation is this where now he has to sleep in a stable? But the madman says that at least life is fun. What Zed really wants to know was why this crazy guy Rio is always glued to him. Also, it seemed like the guy kept calling him a side character, which didn't make any sense. He still needs help, so he'll keep Rio close for now, but he needs to be careful. He doesn't know him well yet. He doesn't know how long he can trust this person. Thanks, man. Our boy's all lonely, huh? Though, it does make sense, right? He was 40 years old, spent all of his time fighting and playing games. There wasn't a single soul in the house. Next morning, he wakes up and is already impressed that none of this was a dream. Ryu says he's impressed that a noble like Zed can sleep in a place like this. Zed asks Sin if he likes this place, and his friend just says something obvious. Right, bro? There's no such thing as liking when you're poor. You sleep wherever you can. Even though our boy hijacked this guy's life halfway through, he was also super rich in his previous life. And like a good capitalist bro, he gets up and says it's time to make money. You can't level up and get strong if you don't even have a place to sleep or eat. Ryu says that's going to be really hard, but definitely being hunted by Clark, and soon enough they'll be found. Zed asks if he's talking about stealing, but our boy says that's impossible. There's no way to steal enough to get rich in a place like this. First, they'd have to make money in a fair and honest way.